Hello, welcome back to another video. Let's get started. I know for a fact that, yes, I forgot to make a video for last week. I know. Don't yell at me in the comments, even though no one's yelling at me, but I'm yelling at myself. And also, this is going to be a new series. So this is just going to be watercolor and chats. The reason why I'm calling it watercolor and chat is because I was originally going to make this video, but in digital form. And originally it was going to be me redrawing my Instagram characters, but unfortunately I accidentally threw out all of my Procreate drawings. Yippee! And by that I mean I accidentally deleted Procreate on my iPad, and when I went to go get it again in the App Store, I accidentally deleted all of the drawings that I needed for Halloween, Christmas, Universal Monster thing, and also the video that I was literally going to make for last week and this week. So yeah. And also, if I sound really tired and also out of breath, and if you hear my voice a little bit of a, I don't know, tired or frog in my throat, I was hanging out with my boyfriend last night, and we were on a date. It was a nice date. We had fun. But anyway, let's chat, let's talk. So let me tell you about the watercolor series, both on YouTube and on my TikTok page. So the watercolor TikTok page, or the videos, were created back in February of 2024. And the reason why is because I wanted a series that was different from my other series. I know I had the alcohol marker series, I had the sketchbook tours, and I had I think 2 more series. But I got a bunch of these watercolor palettes, and I told myself, why do I have so many watercolor palettes? I might as well use them. And I didn't know how I was going to use them, because I wanted to show off my watercolor process, but also document my process of starting watercolors, and hopefully the process of being at least a decent master of the watercolor medium. And that was the whole reason and the creation of the watercolor series, to show my process and my development of understanding watercolors. Of course, sure, I'm still a noob, because in this first clip with the sheep, this was my first time using the grabby shimmer watercolors. And I did not know how much water to put in, but also I didn't understand how much water I should use. And of course, some of the parts of the lamb/sheep look really pretty, but I could say now it's really faded. Like, the shimmer is really faded, even though I added a lot of colors. To me, in real life, it was really light and gloomy. And I didn't understand why. Did I add too much water? Did I add too little shimmer? It was just a big what did I do type question in my mind. And I think it was just me stressing out and just worrying about the fact that, okay, I'm sharing this with a bunch of people, and I want to show off that I'm an expert. No, I'm still learning, and I'm still trying to understand the whole watercolor thing. I've never tried watercolors besides using it for school and using it for assignments. And me doing this for fun, I don't want to be overwhelmed, or I don't want to be stressed out about it, because again, I've talked about this in many videos. Art isn't a chore. Art isn't something for you to be forced upon to do. Art is just something you as a person could either make into a hobby, a job, or a coping mechanism. And I didn't see that until I started doing watercolors. Of course, there were times where I got frustrated, where, of course, I added too much water to my drawing and it looked either muddy, or I was impatient without waiting for the watercolor to dry. And again, I was just still trying to be like, it needs to be perfect, it needs to be great, it needs to be this finished piece. No, it doesn't have to be finished. You could take a break, come back, and continue adding details, continue fixing it, continue trying to like push the watercolor around, because watercolor is activated by water. It's not gonna be permanent. You could come back again and fix it if you want to. And again, to me, I was just struggling. I was getting upset, and that was not the point. The point for art is for you to be in your comfort zone, but also for you to create what you want to create in an enjoyable way. And again, I didn't get it. So I made the series a 3-part series, and every time that I would come back to it, I would get excited, or I would just try and understand the process. And for these videos, I would try to make sure that they were at least within the months. So every month there would be at least 3 videos of watercolors, and that would be that would be the rotation of videos. But ever since I added in like my other series, like the sketchbook doodles, the big sketchbook, the little pink sketchbook, and everything else, it was just not clicking. So I kept on struggling, and I kept on struggling, and I kept on struggling until the moment that I finally landed on the watercolor sketchbook. I finally was able to calm down and just relax, because I felt like watercolors were a really calm and relaxing point of being an artist. So anytime that I was bored, or anytime that I needed something to relax me, I would just grab my watercolor sketchbook and just draw and paint in watercolors. And I really like this media a lot. I mentioned that I have a couple of palettes. So I have the Grabby palette, the big one on TikTok. I have the Artex one, which is like a small pan. It's not like a small pan. I would have to say it's 4 rows of paints. And these are all different colors. I have this small 5 Below one, which is 5 by 2. And then I have another one from 5 Below, which is like the big watercolor pan. I have 2 that I got at a convention, which are 2 round pan. One is 2 round pans, and the other one is this big pan of like watercolors, removable and collapsible watercolors. And again, I really have a collection of watercolors, so having this series, having this sketchbook to fill up a bunch of like little watercolor like characters, or just characters that I want to draw fan art to, is just really fun. And again, I want to make sure that this is like low pressure as can be, because I don't want to be stressing myself out, and I don't want to be having this argument with my brain being like, it has to be perfect. No, it's literally something I could just take a break, come back to it, and enjoy the pages or enjoy the drawings while I draw them. I remember when I was like looking through the sketchbook, I would always say like, okay, this one's pretty, this one's nice, I wish I had a little bit more time with that one, and so forth. Because I could either call it quits and just say done, or I could just enjoy the page and say, I like this, and I think I could do a little bit more better on the next page, or the following page, or the next following page. Again, art doesn't have to be perfect. You could like a drawing, or you could dislike a drawing, but the only way that you can learn from it is by making mistakes. And the more mistakes that you make, the more that you're learning. And that's like a motto that has stuck with me for a while now. And again, I didn't care on what drawings were in the sketchbook. As long as I was having fun, as long as I was enjoying the sketchbook, and as long as I was learning about using watercolors decently correct, that's all that matters. This sketchbook, to me, I feel like is a learning type of thing for me to use. But I think at the same time that this sketchbook is also something for me to fill up and just enjoy what I've drawn and just enjoyed the history that I'm making into the sketchbook. Because I feel like when you do and create a sketchbook, you are literally drawing your own history, drawing your own little legacy. And of course, following trends, following your favorite fandom, following your favorite series, following anything, and looking back at it just to say, I'm happy that I joined this fandom, or I should have never joined this fandom to begin with. But all jokes aside, I really love this watercolor sketchbook, and I hope that we can continue making these types of videos. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope that you have a nice day or night, and I'll see you next time. Thanks. Bye!